Hey, welcome back to another What's Going On. I have a small dog come here to say hi. All right. If I don't do this, then he doesn't settle. All right, go forth. Go be a dog. Go lie down. All right, so I am Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and I'm here to educate you and bring you lots of information and news about Facebook ads because I live, eat, breathe, and sleep everything Facebook ads related. And today is an important message that I'm bringing to you. I really, really want to stress the importance of this. Normally my live streams are just a little, little sprinkle of Facebook news, a little sprinkle of this, a little sprinkle of that. Today, I seriously want to get you to stop what you're doing and go turn on two-factor authentication on your cell phone or via desktop. The reason being that if you are planning on doing any type of advertising whatsoever on Facebook, there has been a sweeping amount of people who have been getting messages something similar to this. So let me pull this up, big, bold, and beautiful here, right across my face. So a lot of people are getting their accounts restricted, and this is you as an advertiser that's saying you're not allowed to advertise or manage assets on your business accounts because you don't use two-factor authentication. You are restricted from managing ad accounts. You cannot run ads, and you cannot manage any advertising assets for people or for businesses. That's a big deal. But there's a very, very easy solution. Now, before I get into that solution, I also really like to give things away. So I'm going to be giving you the heads up. If you head on over to the digitalgal/contest, so thedigitalgal.com you think I can talk? thedigitalgal.com/contest, I'm going to be giving away one of these lovely Facebook portals. Now, if you don't know what a Facebook portal is, this is the thing that I basically live on when I'm not live streaming to you. I am usually live streaming over or on my Facebook portal, chatting with my girlfriends or chatting with family members. This, during the lockdowns and pandemic and everything, this is basically how I've been keeping in touch with everybody. What it is essentially, well, it's hard to kind of see. Voila. Let's get that to focus. So essentially it is, it's not an iPad, but it's like an iPad device. It's a video calling device. So you can call other people on Messenger, basically Facebook calling. And what I love about it is that the camera on it follows you around. So it will zoom in on your face. If another face comes into the room, it'll zoom out and catch both of your faces. The camera will follow you around. And so that makes it really easy to have this thing set up in, say, my kitchen and to be making dinner and to be chatting with my girlfriend. And I can walk around from the kitchen. I can walk from the sink to the fridge to the stove and just wander around. And the camera just sort of follows me around. So it's not like you're sitting there talking to a friend like this for an hour. That's quite uncomfortable. So the portal is awesome. I want to give one away. Best way to jump in is to go to thedigitalgal.com/contest, join the mailing list there, and that's how you're going to enter for a chance to win that. I'm giving that away in 2 weeks, so jump in. All right, so I also want to give a shout out to anybody who's watching this live. Hello from the sunny Philippines. Let me know where you're tuning in from. That would be fantastic. We have the, yeah. So we're going to be talking two-factor authentication, what you need to know about it, what you need to do about it. So if you are advertising on Facebook, planning on advertising on Facebook, or you run a Facebook page, actually, it doesn't even matter if you're advertising. Just get off your butt and turn two-factor authentication on. So before I show you exactly how to do that, I'm going to talk about what the heck is two-factor authentication. So when you go to have a login, where you log in with an email address and a password, those are login credentials, and that's basically living up here in your head. And that information, when you enter that into a website, it's being stored by whoever you're entering entering that information for. So if you log into Facebook, for example, we have Annette here from the sunny Gold Coast in Australia. Oh my gosh, I love this. It's good. Let me know who's watching. I know a lot of this is broadcasting into Facebook groups, so if you're commenting from a group, I can't see your profile photo quite yet. Two-factor authentication. So when you have that information in your head, your login, your password, your email, or if you're using a password keeper to have super strong passwords, and I highly recommend that, using an authenticator like, or a password keeper like 1Password or LastPass, way better than keeping it on a spreadsheet or keeping it in your head. Anyhow, You need your login and your password when you log into pretty much anything nowadays, whether it's your email account or whether it's your Facebook account, whether it's your banking information, whatever. There are all sorts of times that you need to enter login information. Now, if that information is breached for whatever reason, so say, for example, there is a data breach and a hack and a whole bunch of passwords and emails are stolen from a company that wasn't keeping them very secure, and that happens all the time. All the time. So if you're using that password that you recycled on every single site and you signed up for Adobe way back in the day and there was a data breach with Adobe, well, and you're still using that same password several years later, hackers or people can sell off that data. That data can then be run against, basically it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. They'll take all of those login credentials, throw it at the wall, and see what sticks. And occasionally, if you're recycling the old email and old password, well, they can crack into your accounts. It doesn't take too much to crack into your account and to lead into other things such as identity theft, fraud, abusive accounts, all sorts of things. It's Pressy. Hi. Oh my gosh, I love this. Thank you. And that I love everybody popping in to say hello. Hi to Steve, hi to Dina, hi Sarah, and hi Annette. So these things do happen. As much as everyone's thinking, oh, that doesn't happen to me. Guess what? It's probably happened to all of us at one point or another. We just we fortunately have not been the victims of any negative activity. Now, there are lots of people out there that are experiencing having fraud on their Facebook ad account. So imagine this. You have your credit card connected to your Facebook ad account. Everything's going along just fine. And then out of the blue, all of a sudden, your credit card is spending thousands and thousands of dollars on Facebook ads. And it's not you. Your account's been hacked. Somebody's in there. They're taking advantage of it. They're trying to up the budget and spend on ads that have nothing to do with your business. So Facebook, they shut you down. They close down that account, and then it becomes problematic for you going forward. We don't want that. And everyone, again, you're sitting here thinking, that's not going to happen to me. That doesn't really happen, does it? Well, I can assure you, it happens often. It happens. I can tell you. It's like I can count on like multiple hands and toes. The number of people I've talked to that I've come across who have said, oh yeah, there was fraud on my account at one point and I had to get fixed with Facebook. Happens all the time. So what's been happening lately is Facebook has been really clamping down on the requirements. So a lot of people have had their business manager accounts restricted. What that means is that your ad accounts that are inside your business manager, your Facebook pages, your assets, all of that gets locked in to your business manager and you can no longer access your business manager account. Or your ad account gets restricted. So that particular ad account that you're spending dollars on, Facebook just shuts it down. Or in this case, they actually restrict you as an advertiser. So again, I'm going to pull this up big, bold, and beautiful because I want you to see it. This message, I have seen so many people in the last month alone getting this message here, getting restricted from being able to manage accounts, create or run ads, or manage any assets. Now, this isn't like having an ad account restricted. That's you as a person, your own personal login being restricted. And that's not good. But I guarantee you there is a very quick fix for this. And I've got that teed up right here. So I'm going to put this on. And I'm going to talk away while this is going. This is an example of how to turn on two-factor authentication from your cell phone. So what is two-factor authentication? Well, that lovely password that's living in your head and that login information that is in your head, you know it. You go, and when you go to log on, you enter it in and you get logged in. Well, two-factor authentication requires a second way of authenticating that you are who you are. Typically, it requires a piece of hardware. So you're on software logging in, and it requires an additional piece of hardware such as your cell phone or a separate app to be able to log in and verify that you are who you are. So in this case, this example here, let me see if I can pull this back just a little bit here. I want to show you, I'm going to pause it right there. So in this screenshot example right here, these are the different methods of two-factor authentication that you can turn on with Facebook. So you can either have Facebook send you a text message. We're all very familiar with having text messages sent to us with a little with an authentication code, and then we go and we enter in the code and we get let in. The other way of doing it is having an authenticator app, and I use an app called Authy. Let me just pull it up here and see if it will see if this, well, hopefully the green screen won't take over. So this is an example of, I have my Authenticator app, Authy, and I have different codes for, I've got Amazon, I've got Google in there, I've got Instagram, Stripe, LinkedIn, Facebook. So all of these things that require two-factor authentication, I'm running it through my Authenticator app. There's a Google Authenticator app, there's all sorts. So what happens is, I have this on my cell phone, but I also have that Authenticator app on my iPad as well. So I'm not tied to a phone number. So if you lose your phone in the snow and don't find it for a month and can't receive text messages, or if you accidentally drop your phone in the bathtub or the toilet and you can't use your cell phone, then it becomes very problematic when you have two-factor authentication turned on to try and log into Facebook and then also get a code sent to your phone. So that's why I'm using an Authenticator app. I also changed my phone number a whole bunch of times when I was road tripping and traveling. So all my two-factor authentication logins that were tied to that one cell phone number, I let go of that cell phone number and then didn't have any way of accessing my accounts. And that was quite a headache to get changed over. So I would say using the SMS option, the text message option obviously is the easiest for you to set up. You just set it up, enter your phone number, they send you a text, you enter the code. The Authenticator app, like the one I'm using, Authy, that's another option that I like to use. And then there's this thing called recovery codes. It's right there. Recovery codes. So with recovery codes, you can actually, I'm not going to show you what mine look like, but it's, you can basically, you click into it and it gives you some text codes. You can either take a screenshot of, save it, download it, put it in a drawer somewhere, tuck it away safe. So that's in the case of, hey, you're totally locked out, you don't have your Authenticator app, you've lost your cell phone and you need access, you can enter one of those recovery codes. And once you use it, it's use it and lose it. Like you've used it, it's burned and none. There's several different codes they give you, so that's another way of doing it. So let me hit play on this again and just let this rotate so you can see how two-factor authentication is set up. So I'm going to bring it all the way back here from your app. And this is an Apple app. It'll look different on Android. Settings and privacy, into your settings. And then from your settings, you want to go all the way down till security and login. And then from there, scroll all the way down to two-factor authentication. And you want to have it turned on, and Facebook will walk you through the prompts on how to set that up. And then you can see you can have your recovery codes, and add a backup method. I'm using my Authenticator app. I'm not going to show you the codes. I hope I blank that out. Yeah. So this is how you go about setting that up. With the Authenticator app, that's what it looks like when setting it up. It just gives you a QR code, and the Authenticator app, when you're adding a new one, just has you scan that QR code. And then this is me backing out of all of that and just replaying that again. So two-factor authentication, go turn it on. You need it. Trust me. You do not want to have this happen to you. You don't want to be restricted, but if you are, it's literally a quick, simple fix, and your account will almost instantly be reinstated again. So that's good news, and it's keeping all of us safe and secure, because if you are running Facebook ads, Facebook's getting a lot tighter on this, and I'm getting lots and lots more SOS calls from users who have been locked out of their account, have lost advertising access, have had their ad accounts shut down, and it's happening to legitimate businesses who are doing nothing wrong. That's the part that is extremely frustrating all the way around, is that you're not doing anything wrong. But in order to combat fraud, in order to combat these fake accounts, in order to combat people being taken advantage of, Facebook is basically implementing this, and this is the quick fix for you, turning on two-factor authentication. The other thing you can do as an advertiser is verify your domain. So if you are advertising on Facebook and you have a Facebook Business Manager account, inside Business Manager, there's a little thing called Brand Safety, and you can go and enter your domain, so your website URL. So in my case, it would be thedigitalgal.com, not www. or https/. It's thedigitalgal.com. That's the domain. You enter in that domain, and then you'll have a couple of other methods in there on how to verify it. I have a video dropping on Friday that walks you through how to do that step by step. So that will drop on my YouTube channel if you need help understanding how to verify your domain. So the combination of those two things, turning on two-factor authentication, number one, for your personal Facebook account, and number two, verifying your domain inside your Business Manager for your business account. The combination of those two things I'm pretty sure are going to have you taken care of so that you're not going to get your ad account shut down. You're not going to get restricted arbitrarily with all of these sweeping changes that Facebook is making. So again, I really, really highly encourage you to do that. So let's talk about some other news and things that are happening around the digital world here. So what else have I got next for you? Let's talk about Instagram FAQs. So Instagram is rolling out this new feature for frequently asked questions. And this will loop. I think I've got this to loop. Yeah, this will just loop on so you can see how to set it up. But essentially, you could now set up in your Facebook Instagram, when somebody goes to direct message you on Instagram, you can have it set up so that you have up to 4 frequently asked questions that will pop up. So they're kind of like prompts. So when somebody goes to message your account for the first time, they'll have those prompts, those frequently asked questions that you set up. So it can help lead them in the right direction of how to ask a question to you through DM. So in this case, I'm putting in join SwiftKick in the ads. If you're not already a member of SwiftKick in the ads and you want to learn more about Facebook advertising, I highly encourage you to check it out. But you can enter these in. Now, what I find fascinating about this, I use a Wacom tablet for my mouse. So this is my mouse. So every time it's also my, I guess I'm fidgety too. So I like to fidget around with this and use this as my little pointer. So yes, this is my mouse, my Wacom tablet. There it is, my Wacom tablet. So this is my right click and left click, my eraser, and my pressure sensitive tip. So, great question that came through. Can you use both SMS and recovery codes? I don't know. I haven't tried to double it up. I will find out for you. And I need to verify my domain ASAP. Yes, you do. Absolutely you do. And these are, by the way, these things, before I move on to the rest of the Instagram part there, these things haven't always been in place. So with the upcoming changes to Apple's iOS 14 app transparency updates that are rolling out, so when you're using Facebook on your phone, for example, there's basically with Apple's transparency, they're going to make it very easy for users to turn off all tracking and say, no, I don't want Facebook to track me. A lot of people don't understand that when you say, no, I don't want Facebook to track me, it doesn't mean you're getting less ads. It doesn't mean you're being served less ads. It just means that the people who have been tracking you to serve you custom tailored ads that are so much more relevant to you are losing tracking visibility to you as a user. So as advertisers, that causes some issues for us. I have lots of videos on YouTube about this right now, previous live streams. I'm not going to go all the way down that road, but I am going to connect the dots right now on why it is so critical to have your domain verified. If you don't have your domain verified, you basically can't really use any of your events. So if you have conversions and you're running ads for conversions and events and conversions are things like add to cart, initiate checkout, purchase, subscribe. All of those things are standard events that Facebook tracks. And unless you have your domain verified, they're kind of putting a barrier, like a block in there saying, well, you can't really use those events. So if you don't have your domain verified, time to do that. All of these changes, these are things that the only reason I'm talking about this is a Facebook ads. I hate calling me a Facebook ads expert. I don't know what else to call me though. I'm a Facebook ads, live, eat, breathe, and sleep it. This is what I do all day, every day. And I'm on camera with clients and customers from sun up to sundown talking about Facebook ads and helping them untangle all of these issues. So it's like the canary in the coal mine. When I'm getting so many calls coming in from people who have had their accounts shut down, who have been restricted from advertising or have run into these challenges with their Pixel not being able to run ads with events. These are the solutions, and it's become very clear to me that these are the very simple solutions that you can do to prevent it from happening in the first place, so that you don't have to call me and get on a coaching call and spend your precious, valuable time and your dollars getting it fixed or spending all that time on with Facebook support. Nobody loves sitting on a chat or email support with Facebook. It's not fun. So to avoid that, turn on two-factor authentication. Go get your domain verified. Okay, back to the Instagram stuff. So cruising on over back to the Instagram FAQ, setting it up, going to your menu, into settings, business, so you have to be using a business account. Frequently asked questions, this is new. And then set up, and then you can enter your questions right there. Questions that people would frequently ask your business. Where are you located? What are your hours? If you have different programs you can opt into. And by having those questions shown and prompting users when they go to message your page, it can help guide that conversation and help direct them. Now, what I don't love about this yet is that this is like the blend of, on Facebook, we can have frequently asked questions. We can use messenger marketing chatbots with frequently asked questions. People can click on those frequently asked questions and it will open a whole new conversation flow. So we can bring them into our chatbots. We can have automations. We can provide an elevated level of customer service that's so much better that we can do on the Facebook side of things. I find it interesting that this is rolling out on Instagram, but it feels like we're only getting halfway there. It's like half the conversation. It's like we're leading them down to the water to drink, but there's no water in the well for them to drink. So at least, it's starting to introduce some automations into Instagram, which hopefully this will open the door and pave the way for it being more friendly for messenger marketing chatbots. So it's interesting. If you are using the frequently asked questions, then if you are using frequently asked questions or if you're setting it up, I would love to hear from you and know how you're using this. I'd be very curious. Question in here. Are you going to put info in the comments about how to turn on the two-factor and domain verification? Yes. I have a video in processing right now that walks you through how to turn it on. And I just showed you all these little screenshots that I'm showing you right now. That's on mobile. I have another video that shows you how to do it on desktop. So yes, I will follow up. I'll drop it into the comments and you'll have all the resources on how to do that. So cruising along here, let's talk about the Instagram API. So I'm going to pull up a screenshot from my very bestest, loveliest friend, Mike Alton, the Mike Alton. And he dropped on his latest episode of his podcast, he talks about the changes to Instagram's API. And I love this, for the FAQs, can the responses have links? They're literally, not at this point, they're literally just a question that is prompting someone to ask that question. So there's no other action or follow-up tied to it yet. I believe that will be coming. Awesome. So talking about the changes to Instagram's API. So the API is essentially like, it's like the blueprints. It's like the blueprints that developers can use to go and build other apps and tools and fun things and plug it into Instagram's system. So it works and interacts with Instagram's system. Almost all the software that we use, almost all the tools that we use have an API. And that allows people to develop things, plug them in, and play nice. So Instagram's API has always been pretty locked down. Tools like Agora Pulse. Agora Pulse is what I use for all of my social scheduling. I am also an Agora Pulse ambassador, by the way. If you want to try an Agora Pulse account full 2 months free, you can go to agorapulse.com/Amanda and you can try that out. But Agora Pulse is an example of a third-party tool that plugs into Instagram's API to automatically do posts for you. Until now, there have been a very small number of apps that are approved and authorized to use Instagram's API. It's very hard for them to get approval and to be compliant. And that's why we see so many, I'm going to pull this back here. That's why we see so many of these Instagram tools that are not compliant. And we see this all the time with ones that are like helping you grow your followers and helping you do automated posts and all this bad stuff. There are a lot of tools that people are building that do plug into Instagram. They're not compliant. And then once they get found out, they get shut down entirely. And so it's been very hard and difficult until this point for third-party developers to be approved to fully integrate and plug into Instagram's API. Well, the news of this past week is that Instagram is now opening this up. They're opening it up to more third-party tools to start using the API. That's great, but it comes with some limitations. So I believe don't quote me, but I'm just trying to pass this information along. I believe it's 25, up to 25 posts a day that that a business can post through the API. And to be honest, how many of us are posting 25 posts a day on Instagram? Probably not a good strategy, so I don't think too many of us have to be worried. But yes, you will probably start seeing more tools pop up that plug and play nicely with Instagram. And I love this because I think it's paving the way for more development, especially when it comes to the messenger side of things. We have all this news that we got all excited about at the end of last year at how Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp are now integrating, so we have cross-platform messaging. Cross-platform messaging is great because we have all these shopping tools on Instagram and shopping tools on Facebook. We have checkout now happening inside Messenger and checkout happening inside Instagram. All these tools are morphing and blending so that we will hopefully eventually be able to have a more cohesive, integrated shopping experience within Facebook and Instagram as they really flex their e-commerce muscles. And on top of that, when it comes to messenger marketing chatbots, we've been running wild. It's been the wild, wild west of fun over on the Facebook side of things, but we haven't been able to use messenger marketing chatbots on Instagram the same way as we have with Facebook. So my hope with the opening up or the relaxing of the API is that we're going to see more developers being able to develop more exciting things that help us make a better business use of Instagram, even though I know Facebook as a company, but Instagram specifically, want to keep Instagram a little more controlled and keep it, certainly keep it a lot more authentic and keep us marketers out. So it's a fine balance, but that's what's happening over there. All right, so moving on, what else have I got for you here? Little snippet of news here. Facebook is, if you have a Facebook group, you have the option of adding in units. They've formerly been called units. And out of the blue, Facebook has decided, we're just going to rename it. We're just going to rename units. We're now going to call them guides. Why? I don't know. What does it do? Same thing it's always done. It's basically, if you have a group, this screenshot that I have up here is an example of in my 4-week Facebook Ads Bootcamp group, I have units that I've created in there for each of the 4 weeks of our trainings. And when I'm done broadcasting that week's training, then I just slide it into the units section of the group, which is now being called guides. So that's the only change, just a teeny itty bitty little snippet of information over there. That's all I've got lined up as far as the news goes. I also want to pop this puppy back up here again, give you a little plug so that you know that I am giving away a Facebook portal. Whoop. So if you would like an opportunity to win this lovely portal, I highly, highly, highly recommend it because it's awesome. You head on over to thedigitalgal.com/contest. And you'll have the option to sign up on the email list, and that is how you enter. All right, and on top of that, let's talk about the YouTube video of the week. So this week's YouTube video, so I've talked all about the YouTube video that's dropping that's relevant to today's broadcast. That's not the one I'm going to cross-promote right now. But the one I do want you to go have a look at is the 5 must-have Facebook ads audiences. So if you want to learn more about building audiences for yourself, this video is now live on my YouTube channel. You can head on over there. It's The Digital Gal over on YouTube. Basically, I'm The Digital Gal everywhere on the web. So you can head on over there and you can learn. It's a little more in-depth tutorial. It's a bit longer. I think it's 18 minutes. Little long, but that's okay. I walk you through the 5 must-have audiences that you need to have set up in your Facebook ads account. Just have them there. Have them there ready to rock and roll, ready to go when you need them. I walk you through how to set up a website visitor audience, so people who have been to your website. I walk you through how to set up a customer email list audience. So if you have a whole list of emails of customers, you can take that over to Facebook, upload it, and create a custom audience of people that you can retarget. I walk you through how to set up engagement audiences. So anyone who's engaged with your Facebook page, anyone who is engaged with your Instagram profile, you can create audiences of people to retarget anyone who's engaged. And those engagements are activities such as a like, a click, a comment, and a share. And then I also walk you through how to set up a video view audience. So those video view audiences are anyone who's watched 3 seconds or more of your videos, any of your videos that you choose from your Facebook page or Instagram, or how to set up an audience of anyone who's watched 10 seconds or more of your videos, so a little higher intent there. There's a lot of flexibility in there. And I think I touched on saved audiences. I don't think I touched on lookalike audiences in this one, but saved audiences, how to build audiences of people using Facebook's really powerful tools, like all of the different demographics and interests and behaviors, the classic Facebook ads audiences. That's something that if you want to go check it out, head on over to YouTube. There's lots of content. I've been busy. I've been really busy. I've been creating a lot of content and building it up before I start talking about it, so that I've got lots of resources for you. And I'm starting to build these resources based on all the top questions that I'm getting from within my membership and within different, if I'm getting tagged frequently in different groups with the same questions, I'm starting to produce some content around it to make it a little bit easier. And I will share the YouTube link. It's youtube.com/thedigitalgal. I think it's youtube.com/thedigitalgal, but I will follow up. I'll drop the links in everywhere so that you can go and check that out. And yeah, the other thing I wanted to touch on is we are officially in week 1 of the 4-week Facebook ads bootcamp. So if you want to learn Facebook ads from the ground up, the bootcamp covers off 4 separate weeks. We just had our first one on Tuesday. The next upcoming one is next Tuesday. So week 1, I teach you how to create ads using Facebook's Ads Manager to go beyond that boost button. So you're not stuck on just clicking that little boost button, but learning the full power of Facebook Ads Manager and how to create ads from start to finish. So understanding the structure of how it's set up with campaigns, ad sets, ads, and how to bring all of that together. Thank you, Steve, for dropping that in there. And then week 2, which is happening next week, I go over audiences and targeting, which that YouTube video is sort of like a small miniature version of that. So that's just showing you some of the mechanics of the top Facebook audiences that I really think that you should have in your account. But I also go in depth on teaching you how to do audience research and how to layer your audiences and control the audience size and target your audiences a lot better so that you can have a much higher quality audiences that you are serving your ads to. And I always do say you can have the best ad in the world. It can be the best wonderful ad that you have had masterfully created with a copywriter and the best photography in the world. It doesn't matter. You can have the best ad in the world, but if you serve it to the wrong people, nobody's going to buy, nobody is interested. So your audiences and targeting are a big part of learning Facebook ads. And then sliding on over into week 3 is budgets and strategy. A lot of business owners ask, okay, so how much should I be spending on Facebook ads? And that question is a two-way street because how much you need to spend versus how much you have to spend, we need to marry that information up so that you're not spending a ton of money without any strategy. And then if you have a small budget to work with, you don't need this giant robust strategy because you won't have enough budget and you'll be spread too thin and your Facebook ads won't work for you. So to make Facebook ads work for you, you need to match your budget to your strategy. And I help break that down so you can understand where you need to start. And then last but not least, week 4 is talking about reporting and optimizing. So again, that big, bold question, big, bold, beautiful question. How do I know if Facebook ads are working for me? Well, I teach you how to look at the results, understand them, decipher them, decode them, deconstruct them. I teach you how to peel back the curtain on your own Facebook ads and understand, did this work or did this not work? And then, okay, what part didn't work? Okay, how do we make improvements to that part? Was it my targeting? Was it my ad creative? Was it my landing page? The reporting can really open your eyes on who you're reaching, if you're reaching the right audience, on how people are engaging and responding, and which ads are working better for you. Is it the video ad? Is it the carousel ad? Is it the image ad? How do you make sense of it so that you can start improving and going forward and not be overwhelmed? So that's all happening, going down right now over in the Facebook Ads 4-week bootcamp. You can sign up for that over at swiftkickintheads.com. swiftkickintheads.com. That's where you can check it out and find out all the information. Oh, and we got an awesome question in here. You mentioned a book we can buy from you earlier. How do we purchase? You can. So I am the co-author of The Ultimate Guide to Social Media Marketing, co-authored with Mike Alton, Stephanie Liu, Jen Herman, and Eric Butow. And it is a phenomenally fantastic, in-depth guide that covers off a 360-degree view of the current landscape of digital marketing. And it's not these fluffy little concepts of, these overall, social media marketing, you just need to be present. No, it's chapter by chapter by chapter all in, deep in on here's what you need to be doing right now and here's how you can do it. So it's a fantastic guide that's from Entrepreneur Press. You can find it anywhere on Amazon. Just search the Ultimate Guide to Social Media Marketing. Ultimate Guide to Social Media Marketing. I just replay that in my head there for a second. Wow. Okay. Whew. I feel like I have expressed a ton of info, pushed a ton of info on you today. But the main point of this broadcast, I'm going to circle right back around to it. I'm going to pull this one little video back up again if you're just tuning in now. You need to set up two-factor authentication on your Facebook account. I just want to give a huge shout out to Steve. Steve, you are a fantastic supporter. I love that. Don't want to brag, but I purchased the book. So worth it. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that a lot. So if I can give you the one takeaway from this conversation, the one action that you need to do, other than I know I talked about the boot camp, I know I talked about Facebook ad audiences, I know I talked about the Instagram API and Facebook guides and all of those lovely things in between. But the bottom line is, I don't care what you do today, other than I personally care that you go turn on two-factor authentication today, not tomorrow. So when you're done on this broadcast, you're going to wander on over to your cell phone or to desktop, and you're going to go turn on two-factor authentication. I know it's a pain. I know it's frustrating to always have to go and have your phone as well when you go to log in. I know having to log in, it feels like you have to log in two places. Don't worry about it. Oh, the last little tidbit of information when you have 2FA turned on is you don't always have to put in your code. Facebook has this really cool situation where if I try to log in on my computer, for example, and it happens every time I close Chrome and every time I relaunch Chrome, I am fully logged out. I have to go and sign back in again with 2FA. It's very frustrating. But when I go to sign on from my computer, what happens is I don't actually have to put in a code. I just go over to my cell phone and I open the Facebook app and I have a notification prompting me saying, hey, we just noticed a login attempt. Was this you? And you just hit yes, and you just follow through like, yes, that was me. Yes, everything's good. Yes, remember this browser. And then on your desktop, it will automatically log you in. So you don't have to put in a code or do anything. It'll just automatically recognize that you confirmed on your other device and you're logged in. So it's not always as complex as it seems. It's not always as complicated as all of these choices, but your job, your goal, I want you to promise me you're going to do this. Promise me you are going to go and turn on two-factor authentication on your own personal Facebook account. Okay? If you have other admins in your business manager, if you have other admins on your Facebook page, make sure they go do the same. Please trust me. You don't want to be spending money with me on a one-on-one coaching call to help untangle you and get you fixed because Facebook isn't getting back to you with their support. You don't want to do that. I want to do that, but you don't want to do that. So just go turn it on, okay? All right, everybody. Sarah, yes! Sarah is done. Thank you, Sarah. Okay. Just the fact that one person has done this, I feel like my job here is done. I feel accomplished and I feel good about this. So with that said, the last parting thing I'm going to leave you with again is if you want to enter for your chance to win a portal, I'm not going to give it away next week, but I'm giving it away the following week on live broadcast. So every single Wednesday, I'm pumping out these live broadcasts. You can pop on, watch me yammer on about Facebook ads and industry news and anything else that comes to mind to help you be a better marketer. And look at this. We have another person that has done, I feel like this is like an Oprah moment. I'm like, you get a portal and you get a portal and you turned on 2FA and you turned on 2FA. So yes, thank you everyone for listening to me ramble on about two-factor authentication and how important it is. And thank you. Just go do it. Just go do it. And I will see everybody here again, same time, same place, next Wednesday. I'm broadcasting, I'm multi-streaming this over on YouTube. It's in a couple different Facebook groups. But if you really want to find it and you want to find the replay of this, you can find this on my Facebook page, facebook.com/thedigitalgal. All right, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic evening. I'm going to go have some dinner now and go hang out with Small Dog because he also needs some dinner. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Amanda Robinson, the Digital Gal, and I will catch you next week. Ciao, everybody.